If I told you right now that you were looking at the face of a future male icon who would go on to act in several popular movie roles and be adored by millions of both male and female fans, you probably would not believe me. And no, I'm not talking about myself. But lo and behold, here we are. This is Ryan Gosling, a man who in time has gone to become one of the most famous actors of this generation, most recently in the Barbie movie and The Fall Guy. I remember first watching Ryan Gosling perform when I was just at the mere age of 10 years old. I was alone, watching cable television, when I stumbled upon The Notebook on ABC Family. I recall enduring what my 10-year-old brain would collectively agree was way too many ad breaks, and I eventually found myself brought to tears at the tear-jerking finale that was the ending of the movie. Many others share the same experience when describing their first encounter with Ryan Gosling on the big screen. I believe this serves as proof of his notoriety and popularity on the film industry and Hollywood as a whole. Recently, over the years, a new meme has taken over social media, with clips of Ryan Gosling being uploaded, with captions attempting to express relatability of different social situations, along with videos of people claiming to be literally Ryan Gosling. While as ridiculous as it may seem, many people, myself included, loved and actively participated in these memes to celebrate an actor who many people love and adore. But during the fun, I couldn't help but notice an overwhelming amount of young Gen Z men who were involved with this trend. I began to ask myself one simple question. Why do modern day men love Ryan Gosling and view him as so relatable? And I think what I found is an important moment for pop culture and society as a whole. I think it's important to understand where the love of Ryan Gosling comes from. It comes from his roles and characters that he plays. Something that makes Ryan Gosling so beloved is his hard work and talent. Award-winning director Damien Chazelle had this to say when discussing Ryan's abilities. He had the following to say, quote, "There's a few people, not many, who if you just park the camera right on their face, they can tell a whole story, with only the slightest fluctuation of the brow or their eyebrows, or their lips with even no movement at all, just holding a certain kind of expression." When you start to take a look of some of the roles that gained Ryan his notable popularity and fame, and the ones most often depicted on social media, you'll begin to notice a certain archetype of character who is depicted as broody, stoic, isolated, and introverted. Examples of these characters being from movies such as Drive from 2011, Blade Runner 2049 in 2017, The Place Beyond the Pines, and Stay from 2005. While these characters have their differences, one thing that remains constant is their intense social isolation and desire for a better life. They often are quiet social introverts who seek emotional connection from afar. The unnamed driver from Drive talks very little and watches over his neighbor Irene while wishing for romantic connection. Officer K from Blade Runner 2049 is a stoic, futuristic police officer who tracks down replicant police officers for the LAPD while seeking meaning for his own life. Luke from The Place Beyond the Pines is a silent type who carries deep trauma while trying to provide for his family. And finally, from the movie Stay, Henry is a depressed psychiatric patient on the verge of mental lapse. Now that we've explored the basic connections between these characters, now all we're left with is what exactly makes these characters so relatable to modern day men. Research done by Equimundo, an organization that focuses on masculinities and social justice, found that a majority of men from the ranges of older millennials to modern Gen Z men agreed with the following statement, quote, "No one really understands me well," end quote, with Gen Z having the highest agreement. They also found the majority of men stated they only have one or two close friends to confide in. Given this information, it's easy to see why modern day men relate to Ryan Gosling. They see themselves in the same light that they see these characters on screen. They relate to the feelings of introversion and isolation, along with the quest to find connection in a world that seems ever more detached from them. This combined with the striking performances delivered by Gosling himself, which masterfully convey feelings of angst, sadness, and longing, create what for many is a reflection into their own lives. With this information stated and grounded, we now have to talk about my main message today. Research has made it abundantly clear that there is a connection between social isolation and poor mental health. If left unchecked, poor mental health problems can quickly spiral into suicidal thoughts and tendencies, resulting in the loss of thousands. In a time in which men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide than women, while also making up 80% of total suicides, it is more important than ever for young men to seek out help and be given the tools necessary to help recuperate their minds. To answer my original question, some men relate to the performances done by Ryan Gosling because they see themselves in similar situations, while others just simply love and adore the work that goes into these beloved roles and characters performed on the big screen by Ryan himself. I would like to end by pointing out something that I believe to be quite an obvious statement. That relating to Ryan Gosling or any one of his numerous roles is not a sign of poor mental health. I believe it is quite the contrary. Actors like Ryan Gosling offer media representation for men and women who feel themselves going through similar situations by helping individuals feel understood and by giving them relatable and accurate depictions of complex emotions. When we do this, we open the door for people who are struggling to come forward and find solace. So, if you or anyone you know are suffering with mental health, I encourage you to either seek help and, if you're able to, extend a helping hand to others. After all, aren't we all just Ryan Gosling?
Tell me where we start, where we're going afterwards. I'll give you 5 minutes when we get there. Anything happens in that 5 minutes and I'm yours, no matter what. Anything a minute either side of that and you're on your own. I don't sit in while you're running it down. I don't carry a gun. I drive.